In the standard 7.EE.2, where we are asked to understand that rewriting an expression in different forms in a problem context can shed light on the problem and how the quantities in it are related. A reminder that calculators are not allowed in this standard. So let's pretend that we are presented with the problem. Jennifer's dog weighs P pounds. P just represents a value, a number. Micah's dog weighs 52% less than Jennifer's dog. Micah's dog weighs 52% less than Jennifer's dog. Which expressions represent the weight in pounds of Micah's dog? So we don't know anything about either one of them, except we do know that Micah's dog weighs 52% less than Jennifer's dog. So let's just pretend that Jennifer's is 100%. Micah's is 52% less than that. So 100 minus 52 is 48. So that means that Micah's representation would be 0.48 times whatever Jennifer's dog is. Now, what we are looking for then is all expressions that are equivalent to that one. And it looks like it is only this one. There's a possibility, depending on what kind of problem you get, that there may be more than one of them that you have to check. So let's go ahead and take that off and submit, and we can see that that is correct. In the standard 7.EE.2, where we are asked to understand that rewriting an expression in different forms in a problem context can shed light on the problem and how the quantities in it are related. A reminder that calculators are not allowed in this standard. Let's pretend like you are presented with the problem that goes something like this. The price of a certain item is P dollars. The sales tax on the item is 9%. Which expressions represent the total cost of the item in dollars after the sales tax has been applied? Select all expressions. So if we say that the item, or whatever it is that you buy, is 100%, well, no matter what that amount is, we have to add on to that the sales tax. And that happens to be 9%. So altogether, that would be 109%. And as a decimal value, that would be 1.09. And if we multiply that by whatever that price happens to be, we would get the total cost there. So now we're looking for all the expressions that are equivalent to 1.09p. Clearly, this one is. And it looks like this one is right here, because 1p plus 0.09p is also 1.09p. So let's take our work off of there and select those two. And as you can see, we have the correct answer. In the standard 7.EE.2, where we are asked to understand that rewriting an expression in different forms in a problem context can shed light on the problem and how the quantities in it are related. A reminder that calculators are not allowed in this standard. Let's pretend like they were presenting with this problem right here. The price of a certain item is P dollars. The markup on the item is 20%. So what that means is you're taking whatever the amount is, and you are technically raising it by 20%. So MU represents markup. So we take the item, which we'll say that that was 100%, and we're going to add on to that 20%. That is 120%, and as a decimal, that is 1.20 or 1.2. And if we multiply that by P, we will have whatever the total cost, including the markup. So we're looking for all expressions that are equivalent to that. Clearly 1.2p is. And then if we look at this one right here, we have p, which is 1p, plus 0.2p. That is 1.2p. So this one would be as well. In the standard 7.EE.2, where we are asked to understand that rewriting an expression in different forms in a problem context can shed light on the problem and how the quantities in it are related. Remember, calculators are not allowed in this standard. We may be presented with this problem. Ashley's dog weighs p pounds. Joseph's dog weighs 34% less than Ashley's dog. Which expressions represent the weight in pounds of Joseph's dog? Select all appropriate expressions. So we have Ashley's dog and Joseph's dog. If we say that Ashley's dog is 100%, Joseph's dog weighs 34% less than that, well, that leaves 66%, which as a decimal value is 0.66. And if we take that value and multiply by p, we would have what Joseph's dog would be. So we're looking for all expressions that are equivalent to that. And it looks like it is only that particular one. In the standard 7.EE.2, where we are asked to understand that rewriting an expression in different forms in a problem context can shed light on the problem and how the quantities in it are related. Remember, calculators are not allowed on this standard. So let's pretend like we are presented with this problem. The price of a certain item is $P. The markdown on the item is 17%. When you have a markdown, that means you're decreasing the value by whatever percent it is that you are given. Which expressions represent the total cost of the item in dollars? After the markdown has been applied, select all appropriate expressions. So let's say that we have our original item and our markdown. MD stands for markdown. We know the markdown is 17%. Remember, markdown means we are decreasing the value by that percent. So we would take that percent away from 100, and that leaves us with 83%. And 83% as a decimal value is 0.83. And if we multiply that by p, we would have what that would be represented by. And that is because we're trying to find the cost after the markdown has been applied. And so those values would be this, and also this one, because p is 1p, and 1p minus 0.17p is 0.83p, and that's exactly what we need.